You know this feeling, completely down on our luck, asking ourselves, why me? And even if it happens more often, why me again and again? I totally can understand you and sympathize. I mean, who hasn't asked themselves this question while experiencing some of their worst moments in life? I myself have been through such hard times, not just once, and the worst moment was when my son died. I'm Barbara Bauder and I appreciate that you joined my channel. Believe me, it's just natural that you wonder why when something bad happens. You might wonder, is it bad karma? Am I cursed? Does God punish me? The hard reality is that it is much more complicated than that, and it doesn't have to do with what you believe and how good a person you try to be or similar things you construct yourself to get an answer that relieves you. So it is quite a challenge to give a final answer to that. Nevertheless, I want to give you some possibilities why bad things happen to good people and possible solutions to it. This is part 1. In part 2 I will discuss further possibilities as well as stay until the end where I will give you my personal insight on how I handle these kind of challenging moments in my life, in addition to the solutions I provide. Let me start with one of these very important things in life. Making too many bad choices. We tend to think when we get into bad situations that we are not responsible for them, but be honest. You made a lot of decisions on the way which led you to the situation you're probably currently trapped in. Nevertheless, you feel like you just don't deserve it. The issue here is that we see ourselves as unfailing individuals that always try their best and act in the best interest. But these idealized views of ourselves bring us into troubles. The solution to this problem is that you need to start to make more good choices and less bad ones, as well as seeing yourself more realistic and objective. Here it is very important that you write down your life vision, including the key goals you want to achieve. Make a plan out of them. With a clear plan, you will improve your ability of making good and better choices. Remind yourself, nobody's perfect, so aren't you. And the good thing is you have a huge potential in yourself which just waits to be unlocked. It might take courage and self-awareness to accept these issues and be aware of them in your daily life. But once you started, I'm convinced you don't want to get back on the wrong track. Don't blame others for your problems. Get control over your problems by handling them on your side of the game. Another aspect is influenced by others for the good and bad. Life can be sometimes quite exhausting, and taking decisions all day long are in addition stressful. We tend to hand over many of the small and bigger decisions to others, who we trust and believe they want the best for us. But what they think is the best for us does not necessarily implicate it is the best for us from our standpoint. The danger of this supposed convenience, you don't have to think yourself. Just let yourself drift in the flow of life can be quite dangerous. Don't just go along with this, stop it as soon as possible. My experience and work with clients in my practice show that people who let themselves influence too much by others always get into troubles over time. The older man who gets a child with a younger woman, even though he doesn't want a child anymore. The woman that seeks love by doing everything for a man who doesn't love her but stays with her because it is convenient. The student that celebrates party because it is fun and he wants to belong to the peer group with others instead of studying. The list is long. Stop taking decisions which are biased on the opinions of others. Otherwise, you end up doing things that are not in your interest. Clear your judgment base and stay loyal to your beliefs and word. You have to tell yourself what is right for you and not others. Stop lying to yourself. Sometimes we find ourselves trapped in a situation we just feel unhappy with. No matter how we got into it, we just don't know how to escape it. If you keep lying to yourself, finding explanations why it is not as bad as it looks like, pampering ourselves with the wrong tools, we keep stuck in that circumstance. In the long run, we just get more and more unhappy, lose the connection to ourselves, give up on ourselves because we can't see the opportunities any longer. With this in mind, make a promise to yourself to always, really always be honest to yourself, to protect yourself and stay healthy. With the moment you start being honest, your brain will develop ideas and possibilities and solutions to solve your issues and find a way out, I'm sure. Inflexible goal orientation. To be honest, it is just great when you have goals and ambitions to be great and achieve a lot. I just want to make you aware of the fact that if you are too attached to these goals, you risk losing yourself on the way and might end up in failure. Why? Life is not just a straight line up. There are for everyone, no matter in which aspect of life, ups and downs we have to face. And there are sometimes moments in life that ask for flexibility, either skipping them, adopting or putting the goals more into the future than originally wanted. If you start seeing your life process oriented with clear goals, of course, but with a necessary flexibility and creativity, you will even land on higher stars than you might have thought. Why? Because you don't push yourself too hard mentally. You allow yourself flexibility and process improvement, and you see everything more long term. Another aspect is that if you're too tied up with your goals and something bad happens in between, all your motivation is done. You hardly can get up again because of being heavily frustrated. If you see more options to the goal, like plan B and C, and even if it is just mentally play through what it is if, you will by far end up more happy and successful than you think. There are more possibilities to that, which I will discuss with you in the next coming video. Stay tuned. In my videos, everything revolves around key issues over a lifetime, how you can actively contribute to the better change of yourself, what strategies there are, and much more. I will present and discuss with you insights in my career in finance and economics as entrepreneur and integrative therapist, as well as family life and other exciting life topics. My input should help you to be a strong and resilient personality and to enjoy happy, healthy life. In part 2 of this episode, I will further discuss possibilities and solutions to them. Thank you for being part. Have a fulfilling day. Your Barbara.